Hi and welcome back to At Home with Art Factory. Today we've got a slightly easier session than last week in that it's not quite so prescriptive, not telling you exactly what to do with everything like we were modelling Fimo. We're using this sticker pack here and we're using the remaining piece of thick paper that you have in there, or thin card, and we're going to be making collage sticker cards. Here is a little bit of inspiration for you. So this is artwork by Matisse, Henri Matisse, and I just thought it would be a great way of getting started at looking at how you use a flat colour, just cut round into a silhouette, into a shape, to really get very strong, very graphic images. So this one here is very abstract and got quite square edges to it. And this one is a figure of a woman. And this one here, this character, it's got that red dot that shows its heart and these fiery explosions of colour, those stars of twinkling lights. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But I think that's a great example of how you might take these colours, these flat colours that we've got in here, and turn them into something wonderful. So all of them have got a sticky back to them. Let's tip out the pack and have a look at what colours we've got in there. So you can tip yours out too. Got quite a large sheet of the light green, some dark green, blue, red, orange, yellow, dark blue, and this turquoisey colour. And of course we've got these bits here that we can use, all of these little circles and stars and some letters too. So it's up to you what size you're going to do it. We've got this one piece of card. I'm going to fold mine over in half. The folding in half, just in case you've never done it before and you want to do it really nicely and cleanly, I'm going to show you. We fold over the paper so the two top edges are going to line up perfectly with each other. And then I'm going to hold down these two ends. I'll turn it so you can see. I'm going to line them up perfectly, and I'm going to hold them down there. I'm going to bring my middle finger into the crease and then up and down it like that. Thank you, well done. And that way you're going to get a nice clean edge, and they're going to be nice and even when you do it. So this card I'm going to fold once more because it's going to be a nice compact little card. The paper started size A4 and we folded it in half, which became A5. And now this one is A6. Hopefully you guys have got scissors somewhere handy in the house. We're going to need the scissors to get some nice shapes on what we're doing. There's no very strict rules about what you're going to do. Take a look at your colours, see if the colour, if anything inspires you in terms of ideas. I've done a few ideas that I was thinking about before I did this session today, and I'm going to show you things that I've done previously that are very similar. I know this is on blue card, but we could look at doing some sort of tree. We don't have a brown in there, but you could build up a tree using a little bit of reds and oranges and yellows perhaps, so that's an idea. Here's another idea. This one I cut a little bit shorter than that, but it's a similar sort of thing, cut from it. And that has got lots of different triangles all built up and layered up in different sections, and that comes up with a pretty nice pattern. Here's another example of just another one that I was thinking about. This one's got stripes to it. We don't have a purple in there, but look how the stripes, when they cross over one another, you could even weave the colours in between each other. So I've given you a few different examples and I've shown you a few that I've done myself. I think the best thing to do is for us to just get on and get doing a bit of making and see if you're inspired to do the same. Okay, so we're going to take our Henri Matisse inspiration and we're going to put it aside. I'll keep it in our minds. Next thing, we're going to lay out our stickers. So make sure you've got your card the right way up. You don't want it to finish sticking all of your bits and then end up realizing it's back to front or upside down. Lay the card how you're going to open it, which is like that. with the folding bit on the left hand side. You got yours? Okay, we'll just pop these here, ready to work on. We can see the size of our canvas that we're going to be working on. So let's take our packs. You've got your pack here, and I've got my one here. So we've got a bunch of different colours that we can cut into whatever shapes we fancy. It's up to you what composition it's going to be or what theme it's going to be. I showed you a few examples earlier. You might be inspired by the flat colour of this. For example, this really makes me think of doing a little goldfish bit and then perhaps working it back from there, an underwater type feel. That gives me an idea. Do any of these bits inspire you? Do any of them give you some ideas? That makes you think of doing a grass base. Yeah, that is quite a good idea to do a hilly grass base. Maybe I'll have a try at doing that myself. So I'm going to hold this material up here. I'm not going to use the whole sticker at once. I'm just going to cut a section off of it, about this big. Okay, now these are sticky on the back, so you can, once you've got them the shape you want to, we're going to peel them off. I'm going to make this just go there, and it's okay if it hangs over the edge a little bit because you can trim the whole thing afterwards. So that piece fits on there, for example, if you were thinking in terms of grass. Don't fill up your sticker with the whole thing like this. I can see that you're preparing that to go on the whole thing, but I don't think you should use all of that material at once.
No, I'm using it.
It's probably a good idea to split it into sections. So I'm going to have a rolling hill here. I think if I just cut a curve in the top of that there. Now, you kind of have to think in layers when we're doing this sticker making. So if I'm going to have this one at the front, might want to think about what goes further back here. So I might take this one and make a longer curl over there. Give that a bit of a cut. And then I can start to build up layers. That doesn't quite make it across there. You just add a little tiny bit along there. So this is before I've actually stuck anything down. I'm just sort of planning out what sort of stuff I've got. So let's keep your ones separate over here. My ones are over here. So could have a sky going on at the top there. I kind of want to do an abstract one. I don't want you guys to necessarily feel like you need to do a landscape or something. Once you've got these bits cut, you need to just flick it, fold it until you get an edge that comes up, that peels away, that you can use. You see? And that is sticky. You're going to be able to stick that onto your paper wherever you like. So I'm putting mine up there because this hill is going to cross over it. I'll put it a little bit lower and I'll give it a rub down like that a little bit. So came up a little bit short here. I'll just make a little addition on there. Just cut a little slither, add it on there. This can be a bit fiddly folding these bits back. The colours are so satisfying once you've got them on there. And just trim that off. If you don't stick it down hard, you can trim it once it's got bits hanging off of it like that. Do you see that? Okay, so there's a bit of a hill. What are you doing there? What's your plan? Let's get this a little bit central so people can see what you're doing as well.
Doing grass hills and maybe.
You're doing grass hills.
And some sky.
Maybe some sky. Maybe a sunshine. Okay. I've got my hills happening here as well. Although they're not necessarily hills. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with mine. You might have a very clear vision of what you want to do, a good idea that you've got straight from the start. You might have seen one of the things that we've done and got inspiration. Now, as I'm sticking this here, I've got a bit of a crease in there, a bit of a crinkly bit. It's up to you. If you don't mind the crinkly bit, you just rub it down. If you want to be very careful about it, I've just peeled it back and then I'm just rubbing it back down again, making sure those creases are gone away. Okay? You can just about see where the end of the material is underneath there. But I think that's okay. It's quite a nice flat colour that I've got going on there. So I can have some white in there if I wanted to. I don't mind that. Or I could have, quite like like the idea of getting a blend up there too. Let's get some of this light blue up there too. Peel that away. Very light blue over the top there. Bit fiddly. What's happening over there? Got your yellow sun floating a bit there. Maybe you want to have it on top of a blue background, no? Or maybe you could have a white haze around it. So look, this is hers that's coming along here. I really like how the colours work against each other, the red and the light green and the dark green, how they start to work together. I think I'm going to fill in the rest of this. I'm going to leave a little bit of white on mine because I think the white is a nice contrast. So I'm going to leave a thin line of white and I'm going to put some more blue in that matches up to there. But that goes a little bit too far. I don't want to cover over all of my green. I can carefully peel up some of my green and tuck it underneath if I want to. Or I'm just going to follow a similar line and go over the top. So I'm going to leave a little gap there. I think I'll probably stick that down there. And I've got that stripe of white that I wanted. So get that edge peeled. I like that thin white line that gets left in between those, in the negative space that we've got left. Not going to be a picture, this one, as such. It's not going to be of something. This is going to be an abstract. So that means I'm just looking at how the colours and the shapes work together. Now, trying to peel this blue. This one's being a little bit annoying too. I'm going to put it on its back and just scratch. There we go. So if you put it on its back and just scratch away the corner, it is a bit fiddly, this blue one also, but you can get it. This has got a lovely nice square cut out of it to begin with. I think I might just use that square. I'm not going to stick it square. I'm going to turn it at an angle. Let it sit like that. Let it cross over a couple of colours, I think. I like it over there. Done. I'm going to do a big orange something. It did make me think of the fish in the first place. I might give it a very, very loose hint towards being a fish without actually drawing a fish. So I'm going to... well, actually, I think I'll show you how I could draw something specific on the back. So, if you wanted to grab a pen, you can draw, on the back of this is paper. So if I wanted to draw a fish, an actual fish, I could do that just by marking it out and then cutting that from the other side. So I can use that, but I'm not going to cut exactly that. I just want it to be a loose representation of a fish. So I'm just not going to cover those lines exactly. I'm just going to wiggle around them, not too closely. I don't want it to look exactly like a fish, just a blobby shape that's got a little bit of fishness to it. Okay, this is abstract. I'm not trying to make an exact picture of something. I'm just exploring colour and how they work next to each other. Now, before I peel this, I might look where it works best on my image. In fact, I'm not going to stick this down right now. I'm going to look at other elements that will work with it. So, the yellow adds in very nicely here. Nice contrast against all of those colours really. And I think this red is a bit lonely. I think we could do with some other red bits to contrast it out. I fancy some more red bits down here near the bottom, some smaller bits. Maybe I'll make more of these curly half hearts they are. And they become like a group of whatever they are. I'm going to peel that. I know I want that to go down there. Whatever this is a baby one of them. And this one's an even smaller one. So I'm starting to build up an abstract world for myself. These things, these parts of it that start to build up. So I've got a trail of those things there. Might be nice to add in a little bit more of this light green back into it. Not much, just a strip I think. I'm going to take off this little slither of the green. Add it in here maybe. So I'm just going on my feelings, not making any very strong decisions based on any particular reasons that I need to explain to anybody. I'm just looking at where things work together, where I can get interesting shapes. Don't be afraid of just having a go and trying and see what you come up with. Don't worry about these bits hanging over. You can trim them or you can fold them in. I think I'll give it all a trim at the end. How are you doing? Oh, cute. You've got a cute little character here. What I would recommend you do is get some background done first before you get these characters on. Okay, so this is my card that I've got so far. Rather abstract, I know, but that's good. I wanted abstract. I'm thinking now about getting some more stripes that sort of match this one here. I've got this lovely light blue that I haven't used yet. That works quite interestingly. It's very similar to that blue there. Maybe a few round splodgy bits that can help fill the sky. Put a couple of those. Wow, that is very subtle between those two. It looks quite nice, and I could get some long strips in too. Maybe one that's really long and goes into a really thin bit at the end. So you take these little strips, fold the corner. Once you've peeled a big bit, it gets very sticky and tricky to use, so you've got to plan your stages ahead. That's looking great. Okay, this blue square, I think we need to repeat that. I think that's looking a bit lonely there, and I think it can creep up into the sky. Got a couple more squares that are ready cut for me. I'll put this parallel with this one, but along a bit like that. Peel up the edge. This one I think. Move it up into the sky, but I'm going to keep the same angle myself. A bit down. I called it the sky, it's not really a sky. It's starting to take some shape. Oh, mustn't forget my fish. That's definitely going to go in there. And I was talking about getting some more stripes that go across here. So Perhaps with this, with the rest of the blue, I'm going to make a few more thin strips. They can cross across the squares. This does get fiddly. Can't deny this gets fiddly. Now, you might have an awesome picture happening there. You might have a message that you want to write on there. There's letters on there that you can write who it's to, if you want to. Or you could even use them inside to write who it's from. Completely up to you. So I'm just building up layers. Nice and shiny. I think I'm going to use a little bit more of this green. I really like what happened here with this slither that we made. I'm going to make another thin slither. Okay, I think I'm ready to add my orangey bit somewhere around here. I think I like him crossing over that darkest blue. I'm going to put him here. And I'm going to make a smaller one too to accompany him. Similar one. In the same way that I was thinking that those red things are a family of something. I think perhaps this jumping fish could have just another flash of colour, something happening over here, a smaller thing. I'm going to try and cut that out. Or yellow strip, yellow square. Quite like the squareness of it. Maybe I'll just round the corners off. So I'm just going to keep this square shape and I'm just going to round the corners off. Perhaps I'll just round off one edge and leave that square edge to sit at the edge of the picture. I think that's quite nice. And you can slide it to see where you think it's going to work best. I don't want to cover my nice white line. Maybe I'll stick it just up there. Okay, so I'll take my backing off. There it is, very nice. Quite like to have it doing some radiating. I'm just going to get a few more little husks of this, little bits of this yellow. Just going to make a few curlies like this. It's up to you how you're going to create your incredible collage mosaic from these vinyl stickers. But whoever you make the card for is really going to appreciate it. So I hope that you guys make incredible ones, and I hope that you share them with me also. I'd love to see some of your creations. Perhaps I want to fill this white bit too. I think I'm going to put in another strip of perhaps a curve of this blue, this light blue here.
I'm done.
That's looking fantastic. I really like that. Maybe have something directly coming from the sun. I can see this light is sort of tumbling from it. Think about other little details that we might do just to finish it off and make it look fantastic as an example for everyone. Last little details to show them how great it could be. Do you want to cover me fish? Now I'm just going to take the edges and just going to give them a trim to get them all looking nice and neat. I'm going to turn it upside down. Just going to carefully trim this edge, trim those little bits off. And there you have it. One beautiful card. Maybe I'm going to say who it's for inside. And there you have it. I hope you guys have got wonderful creations. Don't forget there's dots and exclamation marks. You can use all these tiny little circles from the letters. Maybe I'll just pop that there. Really looking forward to seeing your creations. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys have made fantastic cards too. You can make them as real or as abstract as you like and give them to someone you love, or even keep them for yourself and put it on your wall. And I look forward to seeing you next time and seeing your creations. Thanks for watching.